It's VZ, and we back with another video. I see about thumbnail title. We're at Jasmine Crockett once again, talking about these ice raids at these schools and churches. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload. Let's get right into it. Let's go.
From churches to schools to city councils to parking lots, people are pushing back against this administration's attempts to harass and arrest immigrants in their communities. Today, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was part of a group of lawmakers that introduced legislation to protect immigrants in sensitive locations. Congresswoman Crockett says in her district, kids are already missing school because parents are afraid of being arrested as they drop their kids off at school. She says families are also skipping doctor's appointments and even emergency care that they need because they're afraid of being arrested at the hospital. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett joins us live now. Congresswoman, it's really nice to have you here on the show. Thank you for making time.
Absolutely.
What should people understand about the rationale for protecting places like schools, churches, synagogues, hospitals from immigration enforcement actions in the past?
Yeah, I mean, here, this is very simple. First of all, I don't know my country anymore, right? When we are looking at situations that are so disruptive to our communities. And again, as you talked about the hero who wasn't necessarily wearing a cape, but instead had her coffee cup, when we think about the disruption to everyone because of something that really is a civil penalty, I want to get this across to your viewers, because I don't think that people understand that as Republicans oftentimes say things like, oh, they're illegal, they're illegal. According to federal law, you literally can get a traffic ticket that is more serious than what this is. It's a civil penalty.
That's crazy.
And so to have these guys disrupting you as you are trying to pray, whether you're an immigrant or not, you're disrupting a place of worship. Or tell me about what type of liability, I mean, even if you don't care about the people themselves, but tell me about the type of liability that we may face if somebody literally is trying to seek care and then you take them away from that care and into our custody, right? Like, it doesn't make sense, not to mention the disruption that it causes for everybody else that's seeking care. And now we're talking about the kids. We're talking about parents not taking their kids to get the education that they need, and the kids may be enjoying something that we call birthright citizenship. Yet they're missing out on school because their parents are too afraid to drop them off. And the final point that I'll say is I want people to understand that undocumented folk in this country contribute approximately $100 billion in taxes, and they pay into Social Security that they can't pull down on. So you tell me how any of this makes sense, because the estimation is that it would cost us approximately $200 billion in the first year to try to effectuate this. And we know the Republicans are proposing that ICE be given approximately $350 billion. And right now that's causing a lot of consternation within the Republican caucus. And that is why we are headed to a shutdown on March 14th, because instead of cutting money, it looks like they are absolutely going to need more money.
Wait, what type of shutdown are we? Are we shutting down? What do you mean shutdown? What does that mean? Well, what is a shutdown? Not like COVID shutdown, right?
Let me ask you also about the impact, as a representative from Texas, who's been right in the middle of the culture war over this, but also who represents a very diverse district. It strikes me also that with some of these changes, not just saying we're going to go after people wholesale, and not just making it into a big propaganda spectacle and inviting celebrities and, you know, hand-picked media to go along to make it look like an episode of Cops. But in addition to that, by going after, saying we want to go after people in schools and in places of worship and in healthcare facilities, the cruelty there and the impact there is to really isolate immigrant families or families that have mixed status so that they can't participate in the fabric of culture the way they do right now, and in the basic fabric of services that we all avail ourselves of, so that they are more isolated, so they are more afraid, so they don't feel supported by their fellow Americans and the other people who live among them. I wonder if you think that is the aim, and if so, if there are other things that Americans who are not in immigrant families, people who do not face these same kind of threats, if what they can do to kind of bridge that distance.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's that, but I think it's even deeper than that. What we've seen out of this administration is nothing but chaos and confusion. That is how they, quote unquote, lead, right? And so here's the deal. Whether it's legal or whether it's not legal, it has the same effect, right? So he decides, you know what, I'm going to make a big spectacle out of getting rid of this executive order. And then next thing you know, we're having to file legislation to try to protect. But who's keeping up with all of this drama that's happening? At the end of the day, it's whatever news headline they saw last or first, or whichever one they feel most comfortable with. And so right now what we have is that they have been able to inflict fear. This is why you brought up Texas, and this is going to impact Texas a ton, as well as the rest of the country. But even when we start to think about the farms that we have in Texas, or we think about the fact that he even tried to do his little tariff war with Mexico. Mexico and Texas, we share a very special relationship for a lot of different reasons. But one is because they are our biggest trade partner as well. So now we've got all of these farmers that are saying, hey, my farm workers are not showing up. It's not just the schools, the hospitals, and the religious institutions. It's actually everywhere. They are afraid to go to work, and that's only ending up causing more issues for us as Americans. And that's what I need people to understand. This isn't a matter of, oh, well, that's over there. This impacts all of us because, again, we are a country of immigrants. And the fact that we have so many people that either don't know our history or want to ignore our history, or as we know, this administration, especially in Black History Month, they want to delete our history. The reality is that immigrants have always been what made this country great, not this white supremacy agenda, which is what we are dealing with. And this is what they are doing. They are instilling fear, whether you are Black, whether you are brown, whether you are someone who just wasn't born here. It's kind of like the birthright citizenship. That is something that we find in our Constitution. And he decided, he probably knew that with the stroke of a pen, he couldn't do anything about it. But guess what? He caused confusion and he caused angst. And that is what we're going to see more of.
Texas Congresswoman.
What a great ending to that video. Jeez. Yeah. Who you think be building all our shit, man? All these immigrants, y'all saying, bro, that already got they shit together while they're here. There's a lot of them that probably don't, but there's a lot of them that are literally sitting. They have the U.S. citizenship, bro. Like, y'all just kicking people out in churches, hospitals, school. Like, raiding schools is insane. Like, for children and shit, that is insane. That's insanity, bro. Like, that I would never get that, bro. Like, they already, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a long 4 years. So, I don't know what shutdown she's talking about. She said March or something like that, or March, May. I don't know what shutdown she's talking about. Hopefully, it's not another shutdown. If it is, shoot, I guess I'm gonna be on YouTube working my A's off. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload. Please comment down below how you feel about all this. It's insanity, y'all. I will be making shorts. YouTube shorts, so make sure y'all watch those. I do have a TikTok that I post highlights on TikTok too, y'all. So I got more videos to do. Peace and love, baby. We out.